What happened? Has Hirsine asked something of you? You've proven yourself a true hunter. And Brynark? What of him? Only one Supreme Hunter would be left. And with Brynark defeated, we can take back the grotto. Go, and luck be on your side. We'd assist, but it would be forbidden.
I'll show mercy. I'll take your heart as a prize.
Your victory will be remembered. We could feel the death of Brynark through the earth beneath our feet. Even the insects will not mourn him. Thank you for making our sister's death worth it. We're in your debt. We still have a lot of work to do, cleaning out the remaining Reachmen and regaining the full trust of the Bears. We can feel the connection returning, but there's no telling what damage has already been done, and how long it will take to undo. Now please, return the Briarheart to Hirsine.
Thank you, outsider.
Ah, the proven hunter. I see you have the Briarheart, torn from the chest of the Reachman. His punishment for failure is to roam the hunting grounds as prey. His chest, a gaping hollow, a reminder of his weakness. Consider it returned. The grotto belongs to the Weird once again, but more importantly, to you. I'll be watching you, mortal. A larger hunt looms in your future. One I'll watch with great interest.
Thanks for all you've done.
We have work to do, but with the threat of a Briarheart removed, the rest will be easier. Would you rather I gnash my teeth and fall to the ground weeping? Some grief is too deep to show itself. I see her body before me, and though I will miss her very much, my life will go on. Nyroni is the daughter of my heart, and my sister in the Glenmoral Weird. Though she breathed her last, she will always be with us. But your journey should go on. Be at peace in your own heart. You did the right thing to help us.
I don't think you appreciate how awful my situation is. You probably live like this every day. You. Don't I know you? It's so dark in here, and I'm simply too tired to think. Alas, the world might be denied my brilliance. Isn't it amazing how we all ask ourselves such questions? Really, it's all Azai Oinok's fault. He's my guide. Or he was. I have no way of knowing where he could be now. But I was here to tour the ruins. That is why you're here, isn't it? Giuliano's truth. Such ignorance is breathtaking. If you'll help me find out what has happened to Azai Oinok, I will tell you all about the ruins. If he's dead, I would want to take back the wages I'd paid him, at the very least.
Can anyone hear me? Help me! Poisoned by spiders. Be careful. They are attracted to movement. As we entered this passage, I stopped for a moment, and Herminia's Sophis continued on. Before I could turn around, a very large spider bit my leg, and I fell, unable to defend myself. There is a reason he hired a guide. I've heard him call for me, but it seemed he walked in circles and came no closer. I am tired, and my muscles ache, but I am otherwise in good health. Had you not come along, however, the tale would certainly be different. Yes, for my duty is to protect innocents from predation. A spider's poison wears off, but research and collection by the untrained can never be healed. I see Herminia's Sophis walks with you. You will share my wage for doing my job. Herminia's Sophis? What happened to you? You are in a terrible state.
Are you aware of the danger I was in?
But where is your pack? And where is Lutebrius?
Lutebrius? Lutebrius? I've been wasting away like a common beggar. And you ask after the monkey? I shall write about how awful you are as a guide.
I must ensure he does not lose his way again.
Azai Oinok. I hope you know how much of a bind your little disappearance has put me in. Oh, you're still here. I don't suppose you'd be willing to help me on another grand adventure, would you? I've been unable to research this site properly before moving on, but my travel arrangements are already made. Do you understand what that means? My editor gave me a list of other scholars who have gone missing here, presumably to frighten me. Aminyas and Deshri are their names, and I want you to search for their camps and see if they had research I can cite. Aminyas may have been a xenophobic, dour old elf, but he's at least thorough in his arguments. As for Morgal Deshri, it might help to inject some romance into the piece, since the woman was so obviously taken with King Jolie. Of course not. I intend to recompile their research into my own words and add whatever conclusions suit my opinion. Don't you know anything about the way academic writing is penned?
Problem, Sarah?
This could possibly be taking you so long. How hard could it be? You found the notes? Oh, superb. I'm sure I can cobble these together and keep the high points on the voyage. I might even make the two of them my co-authors. No, that's absurd. Here, a pittance for your trouble. Now all I have to do is locate that wildlife specimen Azei calls our pet. If only I'd had that monkey Latibrius stuffed when we first found him, we'd know precisely where he is. Now, well, we could always go back to the Alakir Desert for another if need be. Aminyas may have been a xenophobic, dour old elf, but he's at least thorough in his arguments. As for Morgal Desheri, it might help to inject some romance into the piece, since the woman was so obviously taken with King Jolie. Of course not. I intend to recompile their research into my own words and add whatever conclusions suit my opinion. Don't you know anything about the way academic writing is penned?
In for a bit of respite as well, I see. If you'd like some provisions, I might be able to help you out while we're both resting in here. Nothing wrong with a little Maybe I should have joined the buoyant homagers. I really don't like your odds.
How could I be such a fool? Aggressive. What was I thinking? I should have known a pretty little Breton lady wasn't interested in me. It was just that we had so much in common. She was quiet, she wanted to be a mage, but it was all a lie, and now I'll be kicked out of the guild. Lady Edwige, most beautiful woman I ever saw. I met her last night near the Mages Guild in Holland Stand. We talked. Shared a jug of Zet's tears. I thought she liked me. She asked to borrow a book from the guild, and like a fool, I got it for her. Vindication for the Dragon Break. Seemed innocent enough, but as soon as she got it, she called me a beefwit and walked away laughing. I guess I am a beefwit. If I don't get that book back, I'll be kicked out of the guild. Would you help me? She brought the book here. I followed, but it's a witch's coven. Dozens of them. Trying to use the book for some evil ritual. I'm just a novice. I should return to the guild hall in Holland Stand. If I'm not here when you return, meet me there. Maybe something to do with turning back time? Edwige mentioned something like that. But that's just a guess. I caught a glimpse of them chanting in there. Didn't seem to work. Edwige was cursing like crazy. I guess being nice was just an act. Only what we learned studying the history of magic. It was a catastrophic experiment conducted by members of the Alessian Order. They were trying to remove the elven aspects from Akatosh, but they wound up tearing the fabric of time, or something. I am. You are too, aren't you? Look, I know how bad this looks, but it's teaching me a valuable lesson. If you can help me get the book back, nothing like this will ever happen again. No reason the Magister needs to know about this, right? Did you see those witches back there? I followed one here from Holland's stand. She tricked me. The dung-heap wench. She stole one of the books from the Mages Guild. Me? No. I've never seen you before in my entire life. Besides, I've only been here a few minutes. Say though, if you already know about the book, I don't suppose you'd be willing to help me get it back? Yes, this is the right book. Just saw the witches using it a few minutes ago. I don't understand how this happened, but I sure do appreciate it. If I get this book back to the guild hall fast, they might not even notice it was gone. If only I could turn back time. Just a few hours.
Nothing wrong with a little opportunistic harvesting.
Mike once met Captain Blackheart and his raiders. Mike can think of a better word to describe them.
Nice hole. Now I'm going to.
That lunatic woman. Sepp himself wouldn't step in her shadow. I'd stay off this path, lest she demand some humiliating task from you. A madwoman named Lady Laurent. She hired me and the Alikir to guide her through the desert, but this is as far as I go for her. She's already lost one of her traveling companions. I won't be the victim of her next accident. Ask her. I didn't stick around to hear her explanations. Though excuses would be a better word. Everything is somebody else's fault. Huh.
My expedition is ruined. One catastrophe after another. Oh, we meet again. You wouldn't happen to be interested in performing a few light duties, would you? I'm in need of a temporary assistant. I'm conducting research into ancient Yokuden ruins to see what light they cast on modern Redguard society. Fascinating, but not without peril. An alchemical experiment led to my assistant becoming, incapacitated. But I hope to recover him. Oh, quite. Stibben should recover once I reverse the process. All my supplies are at my new camp, through these ruins. We'll need to get some things here, then go to my first camp at the dig site, which, unfortunately, has been overrun by goblins. Goblins? Certainly not. I've been studying the local gargoyles. I believe they're the key to certain Yokuden myths and legends. It's my own theory. Now, I'll need you to retrieve my supplies, and then perform Stibben's duties in his absence. My alchemical gear is at the new camp through these ruins. You'll have to find where Stibben set it up. Be careful with it. It's delicate. Once you've collected that, we'll move on to the old camp. Let's get on with it, shall we? Stibbins isn't going to revive himself. Yes, most satisfactory. Stibbins would have dusted them off as well, but one mustn't be choosy, must one? Now, off to our first camp at the dig site, where we'll find my man Stibbins. Shall we? Glad to see you haven't run off anywhere. What a hodgepodge. How is one supposed to find anything in here? Please, pay me no mind. I didn't expect to react so strongly to seeing poor Stibbins in this state. Now, where did he put those notes? I suppose you should know the truth. Ancient inscriptions here described some unique alchemical processes, which I tried to duplicate. I fear I succeeded all too well, and Stibbins's unfortunate condition is the result. Yes, but I'm certain I can restore him if we find his, my notes. Stibbins put them in a safe place somewhere in this camp. I'm sure you can find them. You're ever so handy at that sort of thing. Julianos' little teapot. Where could they be? Oh, praise the divines! You're a lifesaver, Stibbins. Whatever your name is. At any rate, give me a moment to read these over, and I'll know what I need next. Ah, yes, now I recall how it was. Stendar smite them, the goblins took my reagents. Would serve them right if they ate them, the wretches. That gives me an idea. I need to develop an antidote for the Yokuden Stoneflesh potion. And to be safe, I'll need to test it on other research subjects before applying it to Stibbins. So I need the original reagents back so I can make more of the Stoneflesh potion. So we can use it on the goblins, of course. Once they're petrified, they'll be the test subjects for my antidote. Let's go recover my reagents from those beasts. Then I must check my notes against the Yokuden inscriptions. If I can find them again. These writings are very old indeed. How gratifying. I must have missed it on my first pass. have this in an instant. You're rather useful in your own way. Meritorious work. Now, according to my notes, I just need to combine these reagents and shake the vial. Indeed it is. It's up to you to administer it, of course. You should probably pour it into whatever noisome slumgullion they're brewing up in those cookpots. While you're attending to that, I'll consult with our hireling guide. Oh yes, his name's Mare. He's rather a crazy old hermit, but he certainly knows his way around these old Yokuden ruins. He lives in a nearby cave overlooking the ruins. Hermit's Climb, they call it. I tried, but he refused to go near the goblins. Besides, he's quite mad. He's become entirely preoccupied with some ancient Yokuden riddle. You'll see when you meet him. Perhaps you'll be able to talk some sense into him. To run away? Well, no, I guess it wouldn't. Maybe they should try that.
Still as the stone that walks. Yes. They remember, you know. They carry their histories etched in their flesh. Hearken, wayfarer. They were here before the walls rose, and they are here after. And yet some mock these lowly creatures for worshipping them. What folly! The flying stones hold the secret you seek. In their unyielding flesh that is not flesh. There are no dunes without wind. Yet, when the wind is gone, the dune remains, eh? Tongues of stone, young seeker. Tongues of stone.
You see? Quite maddening. And all I have to go on are these similarly arcane inscriptions from the ruins. The Yokuden inscriptions are mysterious. Frankly, I'm baffled by them. But Mare has dropped hints that he knows what they mean. I'm sure he could tell me what I want to know, if I could only figure out how to give him what he wants. He wants the answer to the riddle of the inscriptions. He'll tell me my answer if I'll give him his answer, or something like that. It's maddening. Stibbins would know what to do, I'm sure. He was always good at seeing what's right in front of me. They contain the key to the antidote for my stoneflesh potion. Somehow, the gargoyles inspired the early Redguards to experiment with their own flesh and bone. If I could only understand their cryptic inscriptions, I could master their alchemy.
You have answers. Answers are more to me than water. Answers! Answers! A riddle? No. The riddle. The one these ruins whisper every night. The one that hums through the walls when the sun beats upon them. You know whereof I speak. You've read the 3 inscriptions. If you haven't, what are you waiting for? No, you are blithering! Concentrate, Seeker. Ignore the importunities of the hovering eyes of flame, as I do. Air. Yes, that's it. The breeze. The breath of Tava. Ah, devious Sep. You wind a fateful path in this desert. Here then is your answer. Within the maw and between the teeth. The gargoyle cannot hide its mortality forever.
The tongue, of course! Arkay's beard. Could anything be more disgusting than this gargoyle's tongue? Oh, one must make the best of it, I suppose. Now, how to prepare the antidote. That's why I had you dose the goblin's stew. Do pay attention. Several of them must have been petrified by now. I've prepared several versions of the antidote. I'll need you to apply it to the petrified goblins and record the results. I shall have to somehow drag Stibbins back to the other camp. It's a bother, but there's no help for it. Once you've observed the results of your trials, meet me back there with your report. That data should enable me to concoct the final antidote.
Getting good at this. Well, I probably shouldn't be proud of that. Problem, Sarah.
Did you use all of them? I do hope you paid close attention to their effects. That's just what I was counting on. Right. Now I know how to adjust the concoction to make a working antidote. Oh, soon Stibbins will be right as rain, thanks to my brains and your brawn. Now see here. Your lack of confidence in me is quite unjustified. I know exactly what I'm doing. All right, stand back. I've no doubt these results will be spectacular. Now, if my calculations are correct, they should take effect almost immediately.
Oh, by Xanathar, I have an acute throbbing in my cranium. Could this be what a hangover is like? Possibly, though I'd like to take time for a more detailed inspection. How long was I asleep? Is Lady Laurent all right? A statue? Are you jesting? No, I can see you're serious. I recall nothing. I seem to be intact, although perhaps a trifle stiff in the joints. I could certainly use a strong... That is, I believe I have a bottle of medicine that will help me.
There. See, I told you it would work. Indeed I am. I know you may not have much experience taking risks like this, but sometimes you just have to follow your instincts. Regardless, I owe you my thanks. Why, if Stibbins were stuck as a statue forever, I don't know what I'd do. I think we have accomplished quite a bit in this short time. With Stibbins rescued and our notes gathered, I think it's time we returned to civilization and compiled our conclusions. It will be a scholarly sensation.
Vex in for some competition.
Now that Stibbins is on the mend, we can pack up the camp and move on to our next expedition. You were quite adequate for a temporary assistant, but you're no Stibbins. If I were in your position, I'd consider pursuing another line of work.
Thank you for assisting Lady Laurent while I was indisposed. I hope there are no lingering after effects. She can be rather demanding at times.
Well, well, a new arrival. We lie about like whipped dogs. Ufa drags his feet, waiting for aid. Can he not see that none comes? The Imperials hold our city. We were taken before our swords could leave the sheath. There's a traitor, my people whisper. For now, we wait. Wait for the Covenant to send help and the Imperials to tire. But you don't seem like the waiting type. I warn most against entering Hullen's stand, but you might help us in our resistance. Go to the alchemist shop in town. You'll find like-minded people there. The Imperials won't let you pass in peace, but any of their blood spilt blesses the sand.